What if Sweet Pea from Adventure Time ate one of Sukuna's fingers? And yeah, this would be a gigantic problem. Let's talk about it. First of all, shout out to Mr. Peak Fiction for asking me this today. But for those of you that don't know, Sweet Pea is essentially like the restored human vessel for the Lich, which is a calamity in the world of Adventure Time. Like, this guy puts everyone in JJK to shame. And I actually have a video where we talk about like what if the Lich was in JJK and he would dominate it. He's just like a natural disaster, more akin to a god than a person, okay? And so Sweet Pea contains the Lich still. Like I mentioned, he's kind of his restored humanoid form, but he's still in there, and all of his powers are still in there, and he seeps out sometimes. It's kind of like a Yuji and Sukuna relationship, at least in some ways. So if Sweet Pea eats one of Sukuna's fingers, then we might have a little bit of a confrontation on our hand taking place in Sukuna's innate domain, like we saw when Mahito touched Yuji's soul, or when Yuji interacted with Sukuna in there. Both the Lich and Sukuna are going to be like parasites within Sweet Pea's body, so either one of them's gonna take out the other and gain full control, or maybe they could somehow coexist, which means we'll either have a Sukuna that is literally just a god now since he's wielding the Lich's abilities, or we'll now have a Lich that now also knows Jujutsu sorcery. Can you imagine this man popping a domain expansion? He kind of already does in Adventure Time, and honestly, this would be the more likely scenario in my opinion, because the Lich is going to destroy Sukuna in the innate domain. Oh, and did I mention that Sweet Pea is literally the size of a mountain when he grows up? So no matter how you slice this, it's gonna be bad for everyone unless Sweet Pea can just suppress both of those demons within him, but you know, good luck. And then Mr. Peak Fiction asked me, if we swap Yuji and Finn's respective universes, who ends up traumatized more? And good lord, okay, haven't these kids suffered enough? We now have to give them different flavors of trauma, which really I think that's all this would be, because both are traumatized by things that happen to them. Now, Adventure Time on the whole is like a more pleasant universe, I would say, compared to JJK, but there are still untold horrors that happen to Finn. And I think like the amount of trauma Finn goes through, like literally in terms of like years spent, is probably a bit worse, because like he spent like untold amounts of time in like horrible realms. He's also had to kill like versions of himself. He's had to do dark things. Now obviously really messed up stuff has happened to Yuji, so it feels kind of weird to compare them, but again, if you make me pick, I'm going Yuji just for like the different amounts of time that Finn has had to do things compared to Yuji.